Hey everyone, Ben the Bar Guy here, back with another video to help you make better drinks. And today we're gonna go over an analogy that I think is playful and helpful in remembering base specs of the patriarchs of all cocktails. The sour, the gimlet, the daiquiri, the Collins, the Ricky. How do you remember these and keep them straight? Well, I'm gonna give you a little fun analogy that worked with one of my trainees, and I think it will work with you as a playful way to help you remember what's what and how specs work. If you like what you see, please subscribe, give me a thumbs up, and let's make another great video. Nux, beer mug, daiquiri. All right guys, so this is a video about how to remember, using a fun analogy, different drink recipes, because sometimes it can be a little tough, but I promise you, if you remember these drink recipes, you will be able to branch off of these recipes for the rest of your life and just make simple substitutions, and you know more drinks in your mind than you think. So you have the Hatfields and the McCoys. It is gimlets and sours. They are the patriarchal kind of fighting spirit specs, if you will. And these specs really lead to all the other specs that you're gonna learn in the shaken up category. And while they're mostly the same, they both use sugar and they both use spirit in the same amount. They disagree on one thing and they'll never ever agree on it. And that's the Hatfields and the Gimlets are always gonna use lime. And the McCoys, that's right, they're always gonna use lemon. And when they use them in different amounts. When the Gimlets, Hatfields, use lime, they use 1 ounce or a scant 1 ounce of lime. Scant just means just under an ounce of lime. And then 3/4 of simple syrup and 2 ounces of spirit. Now the McCoys, they agree generally on the 3/4 simple syrup, and they agree generally on the 2 ounces of spirit. But on the lemon, they say 3/4 lemon juice, okay? So you got scant 1 ounce lime, 3/4 2, and you got 3/4 2. They're warring, they don't get along, and they're never gonna agree on this. Now, in the middle is Roseanne Hatfield. That's right, Roseanne Hatfield was a girl who went from the McCoys to the Hatfields in a very controversial relationship. Honey is the middle ground between the two cocktails. And I tell you what, they still don't get the Hatfields and McCoys to agree on lime and lemon, but what Honey got them to do is agree on the spec. When you use honey in the middle of any spec, whether it's a gimlet or whether it's a sour, you're gonna use 3/4 honey and 3/4 lime, and you're gonna use 3/4 honey, 3/4 lemon. Every single time, the spec is the same, no matter which citrus you use. Now that's different than when lime is with simple syrup, because it's scant 1 ounce. So there's honey, got the Hatfields to calm down a little bit. Now if you want to talk about their kids, the kids of the family are a little watered down. So these are what we call the sodaed, highballed Collins style drinks. But the Hatfields Collins style drink is a Ricky, and it's the same spec. It's a scant 1 ounce lime, 3/4 simple, 2 ounces of spirit, like always, except we're gonna add soda to it. And that's what we call a sweet Ricky, or what we term at my bars, just the Ricky. Now the Collins, or the McCoys, their sour is 3/4 2, and then they're gonna add a little soda and they call it a Collins. The McCoys kids are the Collins, Hatfield's kids, the Ricky. But the spec is the same, except you're adding soda and then you're putting it into a glass with ice and a straw. Now, there's one kind of mix-up guy, kind of like Rosanna Hatfield. You're gonna have a middle ground with the Buck. And the Buck is kind of crazy. Think of it like it's in the Collins Ricky family, but it's the crazy kid who ran with both. He's the ultra bully, he's the muscle, and if one Hatfield pays him money, he'll beat up a McCoy, and if a McCoy pays him money, he'll beat up a Hatfield. He doesn't care. He's just a crazy kid. And that kid is the Buck, and it has its own spec because it's crazy. Basically, we use a homemade ginger syrup where we press and juice ginger, and then we simply add sugar to that juice. At that point, we would only use either a 1/2 ounce of citrus or a 1/2 ounce of lemon to balance that ginger, and then we use the 2 ounces of spirit, add the soda, and you got a Buck. And it's served in the same glass that a Collins and a Ricky are served in. So that's it. The Hatfields, the Gimlets, and the McCoys, the sours lead to all the variations, and the specs are often really similar. I hope that helps, guys. That's a funny little analogy to help you remember the specs. In the future, if you want to change out anything, just keep the lemon and the sugar specs the same, and you can change out the spirit. Or if you're using lime, keep that lime and simple the same. Scant 1 ounce, 3/4. and then change out the spirit, and you know a lot of drinks. Or maybe muddle a little mint into something and you got a whole new drink. Maybe muddle a little cucumber into something, you got a whole new drink. If you're gonna use different spirits, maybe sweeter spirits like liqueurs, maybe you dumb down the sugar a little bit, but you can start always by using these base specs to make a great drink. All right, guys, hope that helps. Hope this was fun for you. Until next time, as always, to better drinks. Cheers.